The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to Dueling Comedians, where two comedians clash to see whose comedy kills and who gets killed.
Figuratively speaking, of course.
All this to determine who claims the coveted Dueling Comedians trophy. This is Dueling Comedians.
And as you just heard, if you were listening, this is Dueling Comedians. I'm Tony V, and we today are doing something that I don't think's ever been done before on Dueling Comedians, maybe in the history of comedy anywhere. I am talking to a young comedian named Gus V, who happens to be my son. That would be you.
Oh, is that the introduction?
That was the introduction.
You're
right.
ramping me up for something I didn't take the.
Oh no, I wasn't going to give you credits or anything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because
I have too many.
Yeah, right.
You know.
And your biggest credit is you're my son.
Well, that hurts.
In my head.
Yeah.
Because I'm your dad. But I don't really think this has been done anywhere else. A father and son.
Certainly not on this podcast.
No,
because I haven't been on it.
No, this is the first, and you're my only son.
So that we know about.
To the best of our knowledge.
There's that albino kid you have locked in the shed.
Yeah, but he's adopted.
Right. I don't know why you do
I don't
that.
give him the same. He doesn't have the same level.
No, he doesn't get to be on the podcast.
No, right. No, we just throw him meat every now and
worms
again.
And grime.
He seems very happy.
Oh, he seems thrilled. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because you've only taught him the sign language for "I'm very happy."
Yeah.
So when you say "How you doing," he's like, "I'm very happy."
We're going easy with him.
Yeah.
That's how we're doing it.
Is he also a ginger?
He is a ginger.
He's a flaming ginger.
That, by the way, if you're listening, when you're listening, is Laugh Track Larry, our sidekick here. How are you today, Larry?
Very animated.
Yeah, Larry's a bundle of energy.
He's so fun.
Yeah, he never stops.
We were talking before this, just stitches laughing.
Yeah, he just doesn't stop.
The thing that I found interesting about Laugh Track Larry is Laugh Track is actually his first name, and his last name is Larry.
Yeah,
so I thought it was like a nickname going in.
Technically speaking, Laugh is my first name. Track is my middle name.
The middle
right,
name.
My bad. Sorry,
and
Larry.
Larry is his last name.
You should see him right now. He's so angry.
Yeah.
He's fuming.
I've never seen him this
The
pissed.
emotion is palpable.
I have never seen him this pissed in my life.
Well,
so let's tread gently with Larry.
I'm worried, dude.
I'll tell you, Tony, it just upsets me when these young bucks come in and think they're going to win a trophy.
Yeah, well, that's what we're vying for.
I expect a trophy because I don't even think I'm a millennial actually.
Yeah, that's what we're vying for today is the coveted trophy, the Dueling Comedians trophy.
Right. And it says coveted right on it.
That's how you know it's coveted.
I wouldn't know otherwise.
Yeah, no. Yeah. There'd be no reason to know it, but it's the finest acrylic that can be purchased.
Oh,
so that's what's on the line.
That's what the conquistadors came over for.
Right.
So that acrylic.
The closest I can remember, just recently, I heard Eugene Levy talk to his kid.
Yeah.
Because they're doing a TV show, I think, on Netflix called Schitt's Creek.
Sure.
And but I don't think ever before in the history of broadcast has a dad and his son done this kind of thing.
What about the Bushes?
Oh, the Bushes.
The Bushes for sure have. I'd say we're kind of the Bushes of cigar shops in New Hampshire, is what I've always said.
That's a pretty good analogy right
but
there.
I'm the older
Which one would you be? You'd be the older
you're
one?
W for sure.
You'd be HW.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. It's like a dynasty.
Right, yeah.
Is what it is. So you, my son, are thinking about getting into, or you're in the family business.
Yep.
So like if we had a shed or a business, we could hang out, like Tony and son or Gus and Dad.
Yeah.
However that would turn out.
Right.
But
I think Mumford and Sons is he the dad of?
I don't know.
Is there a dad? They all seem the same age.
They all seem around the same age. Yeah. I think he's got the biggest beard. I think that's how they do it.
So does it change?
I think so. Whoever has like if he shaved, then he would go down.
Speaking of shaving, I guess you can't see because it's a podcast, but
no, we have some video. Most people listen to it as a podcast, but it is also a vodcast, is what they call them.
I don't think. Who'd you hear that from?
Larry.
I think someone's tricking you.
Larry, isn't that what you told me?
Is it a prank, Larry?
Yes, it means video on demand.
See? Video on demand cast. It's a video on demand cast.
Also, as you know, LOL means laugh out loud.
Which you coined.
And
Yes.
Yeah.
he invented
LOL. Yeah, there was no LOL before. There was.
And he gets a
laugh
nickel
track.
anytime someone texts it.
That's right.
Yeah,
Anytime
Larry's
it's
swimming in it.
Look, he does this because he out of love.
Yeah,
He
out of
doesn't have to
LOL.
be here.
Lots of love.
So you, my son, are a student as well. You're over there
student of
at
the world
of Emerson College.
Emerson College and the world also.
And what are you taking up over there besides
business?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of business courses. I'm actually pre-med. It's a communication school, so I'm pre-med.
Pre-med?
Yep. Not a great program.
No.
You know, like
But
the like 9 out of 10 doctors recommend.
Yeah.
Emerson trains the 10th doctor.
Oh, so that right.
Yeah. So that's the one who doesn't know anything.
I had the 5th dentist once.
Oh, did you?
You know, 4 out of 5
Yeah, of
dentists. I had the 5th one, and he would say, chew gum.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care.
He rolled me up a joint while we were.
Right, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He simply did not care one little bit.
He's like, we put the laughing gas on. And was like, tell me when.
Right. So, and you've been making your way in the comedy world in the New England area, and how's that going for you?
The New England area or the comedy?
The comedy New England area. You know, you just can't show up places and start telling jokes.
That's what you do.
I've been thrown out of a lot of places
Right,
too. But so you're finding your way.
Yeah, I'm actually, I feel very successful in comedy, which is why tonight I'm doing a show where I eat a habanero pepper before.
That's what it's come to.
Yeah, you can really tell you've made it when you're eating a habanero pepper to do comedy in a basement.
Right. So you're going to a show tonight.
Yeah.
And you're going to eat a habanero
I'm
pepper.
going to eat a habanero pepper and then do my set. Or attempt to do my set.
See what happens afterwards.
Right, yeah. So there's a classic path up, Bill Burr.
Right.
All
Sebastian Maniscalco, of
greatest
course.
comic alive.
And eating a pepper.
I can't let the Sebastian Maniscalco thing slide.
We're not fans.
No, he couldn't do a podcast. That's the thing.
No,
you got to watch him.
No, right?
You got to watch him act it out.
Because he'd have to act in. He'd be act. I'm drinking water now, and then they'd grab the cup. And it'd be a very big...
but it wouldn't work on a podcast. It'd just be, I'm drinking water now, and then it'd be a couple seconds of silence.
Of him drinking water.
Yeah, right.
So it doesn't work
listen to that.
Or that Gallagher guy. Right?
Gallagher would not be good.
A watermelon now.
And then there'd be a smash sound effect, and then we'd go from there.
It was actually when you had Carrot Top on, that was the lowest ratings this podcast ever had, because the prop comedy really does not
fly
translate
at all.
No.
You know, one time, I don't know if I ever told you this story, but Carrot Top, who's, I take nothing away from what
Carrot Top,
anybody
dear
does.
friend of mine.
Good guy, Scott. Yeah. And he came into town early on, and we're not always the friendliest of people. And we were doing a show at the old Catcher Rising Star, and we hit his props. And he was a basket case. I mean, he literally had tears in his eyes because he couldn't find his suitcase. And we got the biggest kick, and he wasn't going to go on because he had nothing to say.
Right.
Yeah, so we do things like that. Yeah.
Did you give him back?
We gave him back eventually because he had to go on to the show, and there would be no show.
You should have given him different
without
props,
him.
like very serious props.
There was another guy back in the 80s.
Yeah.
He's from Philly. He called himself the legendary Wid.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he traveled in an old station wagon, and he had all his props in the back from the front seat on.
Okay, sure.
Everything was down. He had all his shit in the back, and his show was he would reach in and just grab an armful of stuff. And whatever he grabbed, that was his act for the night.
So he was like a cat lady.
Yeah,
He was like a live in your car.
Yeah,
cat lady.
and to the best of our knowledge, he had no place to live. We think he lived in the car. I don't know. And he would just go from club to club, and he would grab an armload of stuff, and that would be his act for the night.
Like a improv comic.
Yeah. I guess he never knew. I mean, I think it. I don't know if he
didn't catch on.
It was the '80s, so a lot. You can get away with a lot because everyone
was on coke.
Well, yeah, everyone was high, so it didn't matter that much. But he had himself a career for a time, and so that was at the beginning, the fledgling part of stand up, So tell us a little bit about you and how you approach stand up.
Well, my name's Gus V. I'm 5'10". I'm a Pisces. I enjoy long walks on the beach and a nice.
This isn't
no.
Tinder. It's not Tinder.
I have a hard time telling because
Right now, there's a whole bunch of confused people swiping their screens.
Yeah, they're just trying to swiping us. They're touching our face.
Right, they just want. Right.
Everyone's swiping left on me.
I'm afraid I'm going to have an indent on my cheek by the time we're done with all this.
Right.
So, how do people get a hold of you if they want to?
Best way is on Twitter at Gus V Comic.
All right.
Or if you want to actually get a hold with me, sometimes I grease myself up and just run around.
Right.
So it's using that.
Like trying to get up a pole.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
After the Super Bowl.
I've tried to bathe you in your younger days, and I can attest to that.
such an upsetting
He's a slippery little guy.
Yep. I can get.
Will you hear that music in your ear?
Am I having a stroke?
No.
I smell toast.
See how fast that went? We got to go.
This is David Garofalo, and you've heard me say it over and over again for many years. Please support your local cigar retailer. And I mean it. If you don't buy from them, they will go away, and then what? There'll be no place to go. That being said, sometimes you're far away from any cigar shops or a place that doesn't carry the stuff you've been hearing about and you want to try it. That's where twoguyscigars.com comes in. It's the number twoguyscigars.com. And unlike most online cigar shops, at twoguyscigars.com, you can buy a single cigar of whatever you want. You don't have to buy boxes or even 5-packs and suffer through cigars you might not even like. One of this and one of that is acceptable, appreciated, and commonplace at twoguyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Thank you for your business.
We are here still at the Dueling Comedians.
I tried to leave.
I know.
Yeah.
That's if you know.
And then they got a hold of me.
We got the cord on it because
Yeah.
we've had people try to bail in the middle of the thing, and then it just comes back to me dueling myself.
That sounds dirty.
Which
That
does
sounds
sound a little not right.
That duel yourself in your own time.
That plays not in public.
Yeah,
And
I've gotten in a lot of trouble for dueling in public
yeah, and
before.
certainly not around an acrylic desktop.
No, you don't. No, that's the worst place. You
Yeah.
can see right through it.
So if you're just joining us, and I don't know why you haven't been glued to it the whole time, I'm talking to young Gus V, Augustus Johnson
I'm talking
Viveiros.
to old Tony V.
My progeny. A lot of people don't ever get to actually interview their replacement.
Right. Yeah. Well, what's weird now is I used to just look like I was your kid, right?
Right.
But then you lost a ton of weight and grew a beard, which I have. You can't see.
Right.
So now I don't look like your son. I just look like you. It's
right.
it's like a different skin of you.
Right.
Like if you're in a video game.
It's been my master plan for a long time is to do gigs and just send you.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like franchise will be like the Gallaghers because there was a Gallagher and a Gallagher too, but you know. And
at this point, we just need to put on a hat.
Yeah,
we have,
I mean,
it's the hair color that's different.
The other thing I'll tell people, and we noted this morning when we got here, we dressed exactly alike.
Yeah, we weren't together.
We don't live together.
Yeah.
Or, we didn't.
Right,
We didn't
plan this.
coordinate this, but black boots, jeans, and a black T-shirt.
Yeah,
that's what we did.
It was spooky. It was,
it's really weird like that.
Right. It's almost like we're similar.
If people want to see you do stand-up, can they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where might that happen?
In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be at the Poorhouse on February 6th, and I'm going to be at Bill's Bar on February 13th.
Beautiful. We don't know when this will air, so I hope you didn't miss the show.
I plugged the habanero pepper one, but I don't want anybody. I don't want anybody to see
the
that.
habanero pepper, man. I think that's.
I'm so excited to be at the point where I don't have to take that gig.
Right. But that's at the cutting edge of like, what else are they going to do? It's not good enough to just tell jokes anymore.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm doing one where they're shooting arrows at me.
Right. Listen, while you're telling your bits, we're just going to smack you on the head with a fish.
How do you
How
feel about waterboarding?
Right. Now try to tell your jokes, funny guy. See how that works.
Or maybe have a duel with pistols or swords.
Swords or pistols.
Yeah, thanks for adding the figuratively onto, because I came here emotionally prepared to kill you. I will tell you.
Oh, you thought it was an actual duel?
I thought I was going to have to fight you, and I was like, I'll do it.
This is like the Oedipus of podcasts.
Oh, boy.
You could actually kill me and take my place. And that'd be great. That can only mean one thing. It's time for the duel.
So I do not believe in universal health care. I really think we should cap it at terrestrial.
I'm keeping with the dad-son thing, so I'm going to talk about my dad. Back in the day, when we got my dad his first cell phone, he had to leave a voice, when you call, you get the voice message. And if you got his voice message, this is what you would hear. If you want, I don't know how the goddamn thing works. I'm pushing the buttons. I'm doing everything the book says. Beep.
All right, we'll keep it political. I got a second opinion for you guys. I think you should have to choose between owning a pickup truck and having the right to vote.
One time when my folks were in the extended part of their life toward the end, and I was visiting them quite often, I one time brought them blueberry muffins. And you would have thought I backed up a truck full of gold to their house. My mother snapped like you read about. She's yelling at my dad from the other room. He's got muffins! The good ones from the grocery store. Johnny, get out here. And then she starts. Don't be wasting your money on muffins for us. We've had a good life. You don't make a lot of money telling your jokes above cigar stores.
That one, he sounded like he was crying.
That was a big laugh from
So me and my buddy were walking downtown, and a homeless guy stops us, and he asks us for some change. So, I throw him a couple bucks because I'm trying to be, a good guy. And as we're walking away, my friend goes, dude, why'd you give him that money? All he's going to do is buy drugs with it. And I said, dude, that's all we're going to do. America, we don't have a homelessness problem. We have a high horse problem.
My dad lived to be 97, and it was because he had what they call a pacemaker to keep the ticker going. And I don't know anything about him, because people might find this hard to believe. I am not a doctor. Honest. But they would tune him up, and I went to one of the meetings, and I was talking to the technician, and it hit me in my little head. I said, well, that's electricity in there, right? She says, yep, runs on battery, the pacemaker. And I said, well, that makes a lot of sense. We haven't been plugging him into anything. No, we can't go to dinner. Dad's not fully charged. So then I just said, out of curiosity, how long does that battery last? I'm waiting on my inheritance. She says, the battery lasts a minimum of 10 years, and we usually get 15 or more out of them. And I said, that's amazing. Have you told the cell phone people about this? Because I can't get but 4 or 5 hours out of mine.
The People's Temple Agricultural Project, better known by its informal name Jonestown, was a remote settlement established by the People's Temple, an American cult under the leadership of Reverend Jim Jones in North Guyana. It became internationally known when, on November 18, 1978, a total of 918 people died in the settlement at the nearby airstrip in Port Katima at a temple-run building in Georgetown, Guyana's capital. In total, 909 individuals died in Jonestown, all but 2 from apparent cyanide poisoning in an event termed revolutionary suicide.
Wait, we're gonna have to sift through get the joke on that one.
You shouldn't have allowed me to give me myself my own laughs.
I gave yourself your own button.
I can make you laugh at whatever.
Yeah, that was pretty good right there.
That's messed up.
Right.
Yep.
I remember, I'll make this a little bit more personal between you and I. I remember one time when you were younger, and we were driving to New York. We're going to
Are you just trying to embarrass me because I did that Jonestown thing?
No. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Right. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Sure. And you, I don't know, you were maybe 13 or 14 at the time, and we're driving to New York, and I go, this is a good time to have a talk with my son, about life in general. And I remember, talking to you going, hey, look, it's just 2 guys. We're driving to New York. You can ask me anything you want, dating, women, sex, anything. There was a long pause, and you looked at me and you went, all right, in a fight, who would win, Superman or Batman? And I just breathed a sigh of relief and went, this is going to be a good trip. I got another couple of years with this one, or he knows more than I give him credit for.
Hey, don't worry. I will have sex someday. It's gonna
You
happen,
heard it here first.
I'll ask you about
He's going to have sex someday, and I don't want to know about it. That's the end of the duel. That was it. That's simple.
No, that's easy.
I think we peaked at
One
the
of the
Jonestown
easiest
thing.
duels I've ever fought in.
That was pretty good. There was no cutlery or anything.
Yeah.
Now you know who judges this for the coveted trophy? One of us is going to go home with this, so it's going to stay right here. I got to turn it over to my pal, Laugh Track Larry.
Well, give me a second to pull myself together.
All right, try to calm down a little bit.
Come on, Larry.
Mind your blood pressure now.
We're all professionals here.
I didn't expect much out of Gus, given that, he's eating a habanero. Why not a ghost pepper?
It's because I'm a coward, Larry.
Yeah, take it to the next level.
Well, I think the winner this time around is Tony V.
Yes, the coveted trophy stays right here at the UPN studios. It's gone nowhere.
I'll get you next time, old man.
All right, you are welcome back here anytime.
With one eye open.
And let's be honest with me. I could go at any minute, so this might become your show.
I might just get it by default.
Yeah, might. It just falls to you. So tell people how to get a hold of you again.
Gus V Comic on Twitter or viveirosgus@gmail.com.
And we're going to be doing this show, Dueling Comedians, as long as they let us. You can find us on the UPN network or like us on Facebook at Dueling Comedians. Thanks for listening.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21, Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.